Welcome to the Happiness Alchemy Podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Goody. Stay with me for expansion, activation, and awareness on your spiritual journey through life and business. Ascension Awareness Guidance for the week of January 7th. So happy 2019. This is the first podcast of 2019 for me. I'm excited to be getting back to it. This is my first day back to work after what felt like kind of a long Christmas break with the kids at home. So I'm very excited to get back, get into the energy of 2019. So many of you that are sensitive to energy are really already feeling 2019 and feeling this powerful force that the last weekend's new moon brought with it. I know I am 100% feeling it, and I was even struggling to continue on with normal kind of holiday activities as the energy was ramping up, and there was a lot of things that I wanted to release and I wanted to express. So I know myself, I've been feeling this very deeply. So there is a large amount of expansion happening in throat chakras. And for many of you, opening and connecting your fifth dimensional throat chakra. So you're just pulling down a higher vibration. You're pulling down more of who you are on a soul level. So this means that communication and creative expression are not only suggested in 2019, but they are totally mandatory if you want to feel balanced and energetic. If you find yourself kind of stagnant in this area, there's likely some resistance around that, but that's something you really have to push through to express, even if it's writing a few lines in a journal, even if it is figuring out something new you want to do that's artistic, that's expressive, if it's cooking, if it's painting, it doesn't matter what it is, but you have to start expressing. Anyway, so if you're feeling yourself that you're stagnant in this area, it's actually going to pull energy from you to not express. So it's going to pull your energy to not be expressing. You might feel drained when you aren't fully expressing yourself and wonder what's happening. This is your inner self putting the brake on plans until you tune within and be honest with yourself. So there's a huge amount of value in expressing yourself creatively, and as well as like journaling or finding a way to connect within, whether you're doing meditating, journaling, whether you're walking alone, you're having quiet time. Some contemplation time is required this year and some creative expression time as well. So at this pivotal time in the year, self-honesty is really going to lead you to set intentions that are going to serve you throughout the year. Honestly assessing where you're at and how you can become more of who you are on a soul level. Once you begin to break through your own desires and gain clarity and expression, you're going to be really surprised at how much more energy you actually have. So the years leading up to 2019, especially since 2012, have been really preparing us for a great transformation. There's still lots to be released, but it feels really different this year. It feels like we're on the verge of this kind of full metamorphosis. And of course, everybody's at their own stage, but there's still going to be some growing pains here and there. We're getting these wings and we're learning how to use them. And what I mean by wings is really embodying more of your higher self. We're learning how to use them. We're continuing to let go of what's no longer needed or what's not beneficial for us to take with us into this upgraded life. But letting go this year is really focused on, and from what I'm tuning into and for the people that I'm writing this specifically for, it's very much more focused on mindset and the way that you perceive things. Whereas previous years, it felt kind of like more deeper and karmic. And there's a lot of karmic clearing still happening in this, but it's more focused around mindset and perspective. All right, so coming back around to the throat chakra, I'm talking about so many different things today, but it all goes together into this theme of 2019, into this first full week of 2019. So coming back to the throat chakra theme and your inner truth, this week and year brings the opportunity to really shift your perspective. And this is where the gold is. This is where there is so much power and opportunity in shifting your perspective. To see that you have more wisdom within you and know more about your path than you are giving yourself credit for. You already have that right now. So it's not always about the hows and the steps as much as trust and discernment for each step that you take. So it's not necessary that you have your entire year planned out how you're going to get to where you want to go. It's more so about knowing the feeling, knowing the vibration that you're moving towards, knowing what feels really good to you, and then getting really tuned into your discernment. So knowing this step feels good for me, I'm moving forward with it. This one does not feel good to me, I am leaving that behind, I'm letting that one go. So each one, and this is a really neat visual that I got as I was tuning into the forecast for this week too, every one of us was gifted with a map this year. One side features where you're at right now, and the other is where you want to be. So the space in between is kind of like your quest for the year. So your quest to be moving through this terrain energetically as opposed to with logic, right? So to match what you desire and feel it real, so that not only are you moving forward on your quest, but your desires are coming up to meet you as well. It's less about energy output and more enjoyment of the process. So picturing it kind of like a forest, this is a forest that you can't force your way through. The path is going to continue to grow over with doubts and fears if you don't address them and choose your truth and see the light of the lesson within. So whenever we come up to, just putting into a visual perspective, whenever you come up to kind of like this thorny thing that you might be going through that might be hard on you, if you find you're falling into these doubts and falling into these fears, it's going to be very tricky to move through it, as opposed to stepping back and looking at the lessons in it. Finding the gratitude in the situation is going to help those thorns to just dissipate, move out of the way, and pull opportunity in its place. So whenever there's force and pushing, it's going to be counterproductive. Where in contrast, whenever you're trusting in this peaceful energy, it's going to move you forward way faster than you ever thought possible. Use your inner power for choosing and moving forward how you want to feel, while also calling it to you through trust and knowing that your divine support team is on the case, and you can simply just release and get your mindset aligned to it, and then take actions that feel right in order to receive. So 2018 was like hugely about stepping into the feminine, and hugely about kind of like opening up to that aspect, and taking actions from a place of intuitive discernment, what feels good for you. And this year we're continuing on with that theme, and we're like almost adding some power and some strength behind it and some momentum behind it. So it's really, really, really a very cool energy. So it's coming in with a little bit more balanced masculine and feminine this year, I'm finding, as opposed to just the feminine from last year. So the big keys this week are: number one, you know what to do. Give yourself more credit. You have everything you need within you now. You may need more nurturing to fully grasp the power that you hold, but it's there. Nurture yourself and connect to the earth and the energy of support if you're feeling confused. Key number two, your metamorphosis process is speeding up and changing. There are still life and karmic lessons being learned, but you are not a victim, and you have choices and opportunities that are perfect for where you want to go. Use your power to find the positive aspects, find the mirrors, and see what your life is trying to teach you. Then use those lessons to step more fully into your true self and let go of old ways of thinking and living. Find gratitude in any ways that you can. Anything that helps to uplift your vibration will also help to bring you clarity and opportunity. Key number three, it's time to take action. I hope you had a great rest, because opportunity is calling, it is knocking, it is everywhere. Do the steps above. So be still, go within, heal, cry, nurture yourself. Then get crystal clear about what you desire and trust that the divine will be playing a big role in helping you to orchestrate everything to pull it all to you. The energy you are preserving by letting go of guilt, shame, and shoulds and pressure is going to fuel you forward whenever you get that inner nudge of inspiration. So that energy push that you're going to have from letting go and being consistent to let go of that guilt, shame, should, and pressure is going to propel you through those little bits of resistance that are still holding on, and it's going to push you right into receiving. Big important point this week. And finally, know that all is well and you have the answers within you if you prioritize time with yourself to communicate often during this fast-paced global transformation. All right, that is it for the Ascension Awareness forecast for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Visit happinessalchemy.com for your free shamanic journey and to learn about the Happiness Alchemy Sacred Library. Have a magical day.